Hi, this is Charles Cab, and I wanted to introduce you to a game called Dogfight, which I got just recently. I've played this on Game Table Online, and I really enjoy the game just because it's a light, very, very light game. It plays sort of like checkers in a sense, but it's got airplanes and stuff, and it's really cool. So, let's take a look at the game and the components. The map is four boards, wooden boards connected together, and they use magnets to keep them together, which is really nice, so you don't have to worry about the board separating too much. The airplanes have dice trays on the back, so as you roll and place their movement, you place the dice tray on the back like this, and that way you can track what the movement is for that particular airplane. I painted the front red just so I can easily identify which way the plane is facing. I had a problem with the planes falling off at first, and I took some super glue and super glued those on there. The board is basically a component tray on the back, which is really nice. It all folds together nicely and fits back inside the box. But since I had to super glue the planes back on, I ended up using this as a storage solution, which I bought separately, and to keep the planes in. And it works pretty well. It's just a nice looking game. So each side rolls their 4 dice. And then the initial placement you place on this row here, and then the Americans will be over here and place their rolls. And so you decide which planes you want to move, and you assign those, the spaces that they can move to the planes directly. So these guys can move 2, and facing is important here, and this guy can move 3. Okay. You can move 4. You can move 3. Etc., etc. Okay, so depending on how fast you rolled, you look at the little chart here, and if you move 1 or 2 spaces, you can turn 3 different facings. If you go faster, essentially, you can only move 2 facing because of the speed that you're going, and if you roll a 5 to a 6, you can only move 1 facing. So now let's just cover basic movement. So this guy was facing this way, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we can turn like this. Since he rolled a 4, he can do up to 2 facings, but what we're trying to do is cross the path of the enemy. So if we've got a guy who's sitting like this, and we have a 4 on there, we essentially, let's say we rolled a 5 here, or even a 4. So if we went 1, 2, 3, 4, and crossed his path, he's basically eliminated from that turn of the game, and then we get 1 victory point added to our victory point die here, and so these guys would have 1. And then it would be this guy's turn, and he comes over here and he moves 3. You know, we're kind of just starting the game here, so we'll just do some placement out like this to kind of get things rolling. To kind of give you an idea how things cross match. Okay. So it's towards the middle of the game here, and this guy rolls 3, and he wants to go 1, 2, 3, and he wants to turn to face this guy. Alright, so this guy, he has to move this full 3 movements, so he goes 1, 2, 3, kicks him off the board, and he goes off until the next turn, and now the American player gets a point. So 1 and 1. So this guy rolls a 5, and it's the American player's initiative. He wants to get this guy out of the way. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then he can turn 2 facings. So he goes 1 and 2. Okay, and so now it's the German player's turn, and he might want to wait for this guy to come forward. So he only rolled a 1, so he'll come forward 1 and turn 1 space that way. And then the German player over here will go 1, 2, 3, and this guy will go 1, 2, and that's the end of the turn, let's say. And then we take all the die off, and then we just re-roll again. So you keep going back and forth, and when you capture 6 of the enemy planes, that's the end of the game. So it's very light. Anybody could play it. I think even kids could play it, and I think kids would like the miniatures on it. And if you got a friend who's kind of scared of war games and not afraid to play little checkers or something like this, this might be a great introduction for them to get into the game. It's by Bocephus Games. I've seen it online for about $30, and personally I think the components are easily worth $30. The planes, haven't tried it yet, but I think they would be good in some other games. I know there's a game called Check Your Six that has dice movement behind them I might be able to use for that. and Memoir 44 possibly. I know they've got some nice miniatures in their game too, but if you're looking for the air pack, which I believe is out of print, you might be able to use these planes in replacement and just pop them on there, or Axis and Allies miniature airplanes too. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the quick introduction to the game and the review, and it's just a light game, so don't expect too much from it. But I wanted to show you the component quality on the back for the compartment areas and how the magnets stick together. And so you can see how these guys fit together for storage. And you place your bases inside there. That's the wrong piece, but basically they stick together using the magnets, and they hold together when you have the right pieces together. But you can see it's nice size plywood. There is a little warping in my board. I'm not sure if everybody had that problem or not, but it really doesn't affect the game too much. So it's a great game. Hope you get a chance to play it.